Welcome to Barca News. It is June 28th, 2026. And I'm going to tell you about Joan Laporta's new board of directors, which will include the 5 new executives. Also, Barcelona considering the signing of Dusan Vlahovic, but only if one thing happens. And finally, Atletico Madrid starting to worry about Julian Alvarez. I'm going to tell you why. We have a lot to discuss, so let's begin. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the channel. My name is Mo, and welcome to another short live stream. This is not a podcast. This is just a short live stream to bring you all the news because today I had an incredibly busy day. Today I was running errands. I was out of the house all the whole time. The only time I was at home is when I watched the Canada match. So I ran out of time to make any videos, film, edit, post. So instead, I'm doing this short live stream to tell you about Barcelona news. I did do a long live stream earlier today where I did my prediction for the round of 32 of the 2026 World Cup. So if you want to see my prediction, make sure to watch it on the channel. Anyways, let's dive right into the news because, ladies and gentlemen, we'll begin with some sad news, but nonetheless, it just showcases how this club is truly más que un club because Barcelona have pledged 100,000 euros for the victims of the Venezuela earthquake. If you don't know what's going on with Venezuela, it's incredibly sad what's happening there. 2 earthquakes hit Venezuela, affecting mostly the capital, Caracas, and the surrounding areas. So far, that earthquake has claimed the lives of 1,500 people, but of course, that number is expected to rise because there's still a lot of people trapped under the rubble. There's a lot of bodies trapped under the rubble. So a very dire situation. And of course, given what's been going on with Venezuela for politically speaking, of course, the country has suffered a lot economically. So when a natural disaster happens like that, well, the effects of that natural disaster is magnified even more when a country is in a dire financial situation. So Barcelona have now launched a initiative to help the victims of the earthquake, and they have pledged 100,000 euros. This money will be distributed by the Barcelona Foundation and other humanitarian groups that work with the Barcelona Foundation. And well, that money is going to go towards emergency aid, child protection programs, access to clean drinking water, food distribution, healthcare services, education initiatives, and of course, support for displaced people because there's a lot of people who have lost their homes. Now, starting July 1st, Barcelona will also introduce a donation system where club members, socios, fans can go and donate money. They'll do it at the stores, at all the Barca stores, and do it at other locations. So if you are at a Barca store, if you are in any location in the city of Barcelona and can donate money, please do so, even if it's just one euro. Every little bit helps. And again, all this money will go towards relief for the victims of the earthquake in Venezuela, who, of course, are always in my thoughts and prayers because what's going on is absolutely horrendous. I've been following the news since that earthquake hit. The scenes are just absolutely devastating to see so many buildings, completely flattened, pancaked, with so many people trapped under them. It's absolutely heartbreaking, but it's also very encouraging to see how many people have come to the aid. I mean, so many countries have sent planes full of supplies. They've sent firefighters and rescue crews, even search and rescue dogs. I mean, the reaction or the response of the international community has been pretty uplifting in such a dark time that Venezuela are currently going through. And to see Barcelona, my club, also join these efforts, of course, makes me feel proud to be a culé because this club truly is más que un club, or more than a club. Now, speaking of Barcelona, we do have to talk about Joan Laporta's new board of directors because, as you know, Joan Laporta won re-election back in March. But, of course, in order to run for election, per the bylaws of the club, he had to step down as the Barcelona president. So far, the interim president has been Rafa Yuste, who is or who was Joan Laporta's president, vice president. Sorry, Joan Laporta won re-election, but under the rules, he's not going to be able to become president again until July 1st. So this whole time since March, since Laporta stepped down, it's been Rafa Yuste who's been the club's president. But again, on July 1st, Joan Laporta will become president of Barcelona once again. And well, he will have 5 new board of director members who he will introduce. Now, right now, again, we have an interim board made up of 7 people. Rafa Yuste, of course, who's currently the interim president. Josep Cubels, Alfonso Castro, Josep Ignasi Macia, Cisco Pujol, Joan Solé, and Angel Rio Dalbas. This is currently the interim board that's running the club. Right before July 1st, all these people will step down. But of course, when Joan Laporta becomes president, he will reappoint all these people to his board of directors once again. And of course, this board of directors will have to be ratified during the first assembly of delegate members. Now, there's more because Joan Laporta wasn't the only person to step down to run for re-election. He also stepped down with other executives, including Elena Fort, who we've talked about a lot, Antonio Escudero, Ferran Olivier, Javier Barbani, Javier Puig, Josep Maria Albert, Miguel Camps, Aureli Mas, and Joan Solé. All these people stepped down with Joan Laporta's run for re-election. They are also going to be reappointed. So you have the people who are currently in interim board will step down, be reappointed. The people who step down with Joan Laporta will also be reappointed. And then there's going to be 5 new faces to join Joan Laporta's board of directors, including Carme Hortala, Carlas Ayats, Javier Barniol, Jaume Santiveri, and Jaume Nicolas. These are the 5 new faces will join Joan Laporta in his new board of directors. Now, who are these people? First, we'll start with Carme Hortala. She is an economist, and she will join Joan Laporta's economic department. This will be an area that Joan Laporta will be reinforcing because, of course, the aim for the second term will be to continue the economic work that Joan Laporta has done. But there's more. There's also what's called Ayats, Carlos Ayats. He's a successful property developer. He's also going to join the financial management team. Then there is Javier Barniol, who owns Berga Resorts, which is a luxury camping resort in Girona province. And he also manages care homes for elderly people. He will also be joining this economic team. Then there's Jaume Santiveri. He's a senior executive in the real estate sector and manages several hotels in Castelldefels and Sitges. Castelldefels is where all the players live. And then there's Jaume Nicolas, who's an entrepreneur who has extensive experience in the automotive industry. He owns the Nima Group and a network of vehicle dealerships. So 5 very successful business people will be joining Joan Laporta's board as part of this new team, financial or economic team, to help the club, of course, continue recovering from this financial hole that we are currently in. So the best of luck to this new board of, well, new and not new, because, of course, a lot of the board of directors will be the same executives, but there will be 5 people. New people on it. So the best of luck to Joan Laporta and his board of directors in the next 5 years. Let's hope that we could be very successful in the next 5 years, financially, administratively, on the field, off the field, all of them. All right, now on to the next bit of news, because, ladies and gentlemen, Dusan Vlahovic is making one final push to join Barcelona. Now, as you know, Dusan Vlahovic, his contract expires on June 30th, so like in a day almost. I mean, yeah, a day, because it's the 29th already in Italy. So in one more day, Dusan Vlahovic's contract will expire. Juventus have done everything in their power to try to renew him, but he has said no, and instead he has offered himself multiple times to Barcelona, and now he's making one final push, offering himself to the club once again. And now Barcelona are considering signing him, but only if one thing happens, and that thing is if Ferran Torres ends up leaving. Now, Ferran Torres' contract expires next summer of 2027. Barcelona were kind of on hold to see whether they wanted to renew him or not. That decision mostly rested on whether Lewandowski was going to stay or not, because Barcelona's plan was to sign a center forward. Of course, that plan remains in place. The plan is to sign Julian Alvarez. But if Lewandowski would have stayed, he would have been the substitute for Julian. But since Lewandowski has decided to leave, now Barcelona wanted to renew Ferran Torres so Ferran could be the substitute for Julian Alvarez. But of course, we heard about how Luis Enrique would like to sign Ferran Torres to PSG. And right before the match against Cape Verde, Ferran Torres was asked, hey, like, can you guarantee your continuity at Barcelona? And he said, I'm focused on the World Cup. So in other words, he didn't truly shut the door on him leaving Barcelona. So in case Ferran does decide to end up leaving, Barcelona would sign Vlahovic in the place of Ferran. So this is not in the place of Julian. Julian remains the number one option for Barcelona to reinforce the center forward. Dusan Vlahovic would be the substitute of Julian if Ferran Torres decides to leave. Now, Vlahovic wants an 8 million euro salary and a 50 million euro signing bonus. This will be somewhat of an affordable operation because, 15 million as a signing bonus is not a lot of money. So, of course, my question to you is, would you sign Dusan Vlahovic in the place of Ferran Torres? I would say, hail to the fuck yeah, because the only reason I would be in favor of Ferran Torres staying is, of course, as a substitute for whomever is going to come as a 9. But if we can have Dusan as a substitute, I think Dusan would be a much better substitute than Ferran Torres. But maybe I'm wrong. You guys let me know down below in the comment section. And then let's end today's quick live with some updates in regards to Julian Alvarez, because Atletico Madrid are starting to worry. Not so much because he's leaving. I think they kind of know that he is, and they're going to have to make their peace with him. But because of his performance currently at the World Cup, because I think it's pretty clear that Julian is not having the best of World Cups. So far, he has failed to make an impact on the team. Not only has he not scored or assisted, but, even yesterday, he did not seem like the same player as before. So this, of course, is worrying Atletico Madrid, because the worse he performs on the stage, the less interest he will attract from other clubs. And that, of course, not only will it force Atletico Madrid to sell him to Barca, but it also drives the price down. Now, on the other hand, Barcelona are actually seeing this as a great market opportunity because, well, they see it the other way, that yes, Julian Alvarez's performance in the World Cup, which hasn't been that well, that, of course, drives his price down. So this kind of like gives Barcelona more ammunition and negotiation to negotiate a lower price, because, as you know, Atletico are insisting on the 150 million euros for Julia. Anyways, that is all the news, ladies and gentlemen. Let me know what you guys think about everything I just shared with you. Also, again, I did my prediction video for the round of 32. If you want to watch it, it's on the channel. Tomorrow, we do have the podcast, so I hope to see as many of you there. Don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, drop a comment, and as always, be scarsa.